and welcome back to the Cars.co.za YouTube channel. I'm David Taylor and I've been let out of the studio. I'm no longer doing a news video, I'm going to be doing a review. And today we've got the Gen 3 Renault Duster. And the question is, given the legacy, will this be, like our new badges, a fast seller, a fair deal, a good deal? Let's get stuck in.
Cars.co.za, Cars.co.za.
With over 26,000 units sold in South Africa over its first and second generation, the Renault Duster has carved out quite a stellar reputation for itself. And now this third generation model from Renault hopes to continue on that legacy. But is it any good? We're going to put it through the test. Please note that this is not a 4x4 review because I've got my Veldskoen on. 4x4 reviews on Cars.co.za, you have to be barefoot. Let's go check this car out. Now, when it comes to design, I think this third generation Renault, the design has been nailed. Like, what a perfect brief. Executed, 10 out of 10. Nice cladding on the front. It's unpainted, unfinished, perfect. Stone chips, you're not going to see those. Daytime running lights, modern LEDs. But I love how Renault's integrated its logo on the front. Now, my talented editing team, they're going to put the Dacia logo there, and I think that is the best one. But still, kudos to Renault. That is a cool badge. Now, as we know, Renault's positioned the Duster as a cost-effective, value-for-money offering. And the devil is in the details. If you look carefully on this panel over here, you'll see lots of little dots, and there's a tiny recycled logo on this cladding. Renault calls this material Starkle, and it's made from recycled plastics. And there's quite a bit of it on the wheel arches and on the sides, and this ultimately keeps the costs down. Well played, Renault. But before we get into the technical aspects of the Duster Gen 3 and whether it's actually worth your time and money, we need to talk about the South African motoring landscape and where the Duster plays. Right now, 500,000 Rand is such a sweet spot for pretty much every average car maker. You look at the likes of Toyota Corolla Cross, Volkswagen T-Cross, Kia Seltos, Hyundai Grand Creta, and if you like the adventuring and off-road side of life, it'd be rude of me to forget the Jimny and the Grand Vitara All-Grip. You can also consider the Chinese cars, a Modus C5, that sells in huge numbers at this price point. Haval Jolion Pro, those vehicles also play in this segment. So the Duster has got to be really good if it wants to overtake some of the segment leaders. But is it? Now, before I get into Gen 3 Duster's powertrain and specifications, I want to talk about how good that diesel engine of the predecessor was. 80 kilowatts, 250 newton meters, but it wasn't about the performance, it was about the economy. I have plenty of experience firsthand. I mean, also my parents drive a 4x2 Duster. Those things would average 5 liters or less without too much effort. But unfortunately, we live in a world now where the red tape rules and regulation enthusiasts of Europe have said diesel is now a swear word. And I'm sorry, but now if you have to have a petrol, a hybrid or an electric, otherwise face massive taxes as an OEM, and those taxes of course are then passed on to you, the consumer, and that's not fair in my opinion. So diesel has been around forever. Look at the local sales figures. Every single double cab, well, the vast majority of them, are diesel powered. I swear Noah probably had a pair of Cummins diesels on the back of the Ark. Diesel is here to stay, and just give people the choice. Let people choose. So, what has Renault South Africa given us? There are 3 derivatives, 2 engines. Right now, I'm in the 1.3 Intense Auto, and that is the mid-spec model. But this is where it gets confusing, right? Because I say mid-spec, but Intense is actually the top spec. But the top spec derivative, the flagship, is the 4x4 manual. This 4x4 manual is also a slightly lower grade. Like I said, this is the 1.3 Turbo Intense. The lowest spec is the Zen, and you can only get the 4x4 manual in Zen spec, which is less features for more money. I'm trying to understand this. Please, Renault, explain yourselves in the comments below. So what's the difference between the two engines? This test unit you see here is a 4-cylinder turbo, 113 kilowatts and 250 newton meters, driving the front wheels via a dual clutch box. The 4x4 model has a brand new 1.2 3-cylinder turbo with mild hybrid tech. That makes 96 kilowatts and 230 newton meters, but is only available in manual. As a day-to-day commuter, I think this is alright. This little 1.3 4-cylinder and dual clutch picks up speed really nicely. There's 100 k's an hour. It's a little bit rough on the top end, but I don't think you'll be spending much time revving the nuts out of it. But for me, the real strength of this powertrain is the fuel consumption. Yes, claimed fuel consumption is a very magical fairy tale figure. I mean, no one really gets close to claimed. It's impossible. But the reality is 7.6 liters per 100 is what I'm getting. Well, 7.7 now because I'm driving it like a Renault Sport. But for me, the Duster Gen 3, it's all about the ride quality. This car rides really well. The chassis is comfort orientated, which is great if you're going to be venturing on those gravel roads. But even on a mixed surface like this, I'm happy. This is a comfy place to be. For what it's worth, just over 200 millimeters of clearance. There's a bit more clearance on the 4x4, but right now with these high profile tires, this chassis, I am very happy. And this brings me to my next rant. How many brands, and this is where I actually get annoyed, because how many brands do you know who've made just middle of the road crossovers and they go dynamic chassis, sporty suspension? No, this is problematic. Guys, picture this. It's Monday morning. You haven't slept well. You ate too much last night. Arsenal didn't win a trophy. You just want to get to work comfortably, quietly, without thinking. But no, suddenly we have to have dynamic chassis and dynamic ride and sportiness. No, take your dynamics and shove it. Anyways, rant over. So what is the difference between Zen and Intense spec? Now, I'm not going to say Zen is lacking in features, but Intense is what you want. You get niceties like climate control, a wireless charger, you get nicer seats, this nice cool material. You also get some additional safety content like the blind spot cameras and the mirrors. You also get a 360-degree camera and an uprated audio system. Come on guys, you know you want the additional content. But when it comes to build quality, the Duster is 50-50. It's quite polarizing. The build quality, not everyone is going to love these tough and rugged plastics, but for me it feels honest and hardworking and durable. And I love the detailing. Like there's a cute little Duster logo on the base of the windscreen that gives you some idea of where this vehicle is positioned. Now in the cabin of the Duster there's some fun accessories, and one of them is this phone holder, but I don't quite understand why it exists because the car already comes with wireless Android Auto and Apple CarPlay. So why would you need your phone next to you? Are you running an Uber? But it's okay, maybe you guys are swiping on the apps looking for friendly locals. I mean, I get it, it's winter, we all need a cuddle buddy, no judging. Renault says its third generation Duster is built on a new platform called CMFB, and that's shared with things like the Clio and the Capture. This platform is said to offer a bit more interior space, but interestingly, when I compare the second gen with the third gen model, the wheelbase, that for me is the critical metric for cabin interior space, that is slightly reduced, and I can feel it. I mean, I'm a tall guy, I will confess. I've got adequate headroom, but my legroom is a little on the tight side. So look, it's fine for short journeys, but I don't want to be in here for really long extended periods of time. It's not going to be the most comfortable. That being said, I do have a pair of USB-C charging ports, so I suppose I can just like plug my iPad in and that'll soften the blow to a degree. Now, it's not a Cars.co.za review unless there's a boot test. So here we go, Cars.co.za review of the Duster. And of course, got to have our budget cooler boxes. Now, I really like this boot. Renault says 472 liters, so it's fractionally bigger than the outgoing model, Gen 2 in comparison. So let's see, 1, 2, I reckon we can get 2.5 over here, and depth-wise, pretty good as well. I think there's 5.5, 6 cooler boxes in there. Sounds like a good weekend. So yes, the boot space has grown and happy with that. But the Intense spec has also included this very clever tiered boot system, so you get even more space. At which point you go, but where's the spare wheel? We need a spare wheel. And I agree, because that's one of my pet hates. You cannot have a new car in 2025 in South Africa without a spare wheel. The potholes are hungry, they eat the tires. And if I dig through here, full size spare. Take that, sports fans. Right, crunch time, and thank you for making it this far and listening to my grumpiness. I've only had one cup of coffee today. I suddenly just had to film this Renault Duster because the Renault is orange and Dave is orange and he's been let out on good behavior. So, right, Renault Duster 3rd gen, is it worth your time? Look, Renault, I think, was in a spot of bother trying to replace 1st and 2nd gen Duster. Those cars were so good, and not having a diesel, I think this strategy might not pay off. But clinically, I can say, hand on heart, the 1.3 Intense 4x2 Auto is the one to have. I find myself asking, do I really need the old school way of driving with a manual gearbox? Guys, it's 2025. Dual clutch boxes and even CVTs have become so good. So yeah, I think the Duster is going to carve out a niche for itself. I think people will love the rugged looks. I think the value for money it's okay. It's not the best, but it's also not the worst. So yeah, I think 3rd gen Duster, it'll carry on where the predecessor left off. I think it's pretty good, it's rugged, and it's great on gravel. And that brings me to the end of the video. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video if you found this content useful. Don't forget, we've just introduced badges onto our new and used car listings, so you know whether you're getting a good deal, a price has dropped, or a car is a fast seller. I will see you in the next one. Okay, bye.
Hello, you join me and my Fern in the Cars.co.za Cape Town office, where I have been asked to tell you about our new quick search feature in our app. Now, if you don't have our app, it's been downloaded by over 2 million South Africans, completely free. It's in any app store that you use. Go ahead and get it right now. And we've just launched a very cool new feature. It's a first in South Africa. So it's basically plain English search. And this is how it works. You open the app, and in the quick search bar, you just type what you're looking for. So BMW X3 Silver Gauteng, and then bang, hit, I've misspelled Gauteng. Then hit search, and we pre-populate all those filters for you so you don't have to fiddle, and then you get, of all the 72,000 cars on our site, all the silver X3s in Gauteng for you to choose from. That's actually quite clever. I didn't know it could do that. Should probably read my emails sometimes.
Let's find what moves you. Cars.co.za.